What's a good amount of time for a divorce mediation? Sometimes in the middle of mediation, somebody will say to me, is this a long mediation? Every mediation is different. When you're going through a divorce, mediation is an opportunity that you can settle your case and get it done and over with, rather than having a judge tell you what to do. Trials, a lot of times, at least, again, I'm a Florida divorce lawyer, so in Florida, in a contested divorce, we're usually looking at least a day-long hearing. So 1 day of time set aside by the court to settle all of your issues, and through the court process. So maybe it's a half day, maybe a day. Sometimes I've had up to 5-6 day trials. Sometimes trials can be longer. About a half day is about the least you're going to do on like a full-blown divorce with a couple different issues. If you're dealing with some other basic things, maybe it's a shorter hearing. But most cases, you're talking about like a day trial. So a mediation, if it settles in 2 or 3 hours, that's great. But sometimes it can take 5 or 6. Sometimes I've mediated up to about 14, 15 hours in a day and still settled. Is that always good for everybody involved? Yeah, it can be tiresome. You want to take some breaks in the middle of it. You want to eat some lunch. You want to make sure that you're staying hydrated and you're keeping, your blood sugar levels up. You're understanding what's going on. You're kind of taking little breaks here and there to, just get up, walk around, and clear your head a little bit. That's for the attorneys too. They should kind of not be just like sitting there, strapped in for 12 hours ready to go at it. You want to, make sure there's breaks in between, and you're doing what you need to do to get it done. So sometimes people ask me, what's a normal amount of time? Most mediations are set for a half day. Most of them are not set for a full day. And a lot of them can get done within a half day, but sometimes that's not enough time. Sometimes you do need a little bit more. So being ready to be, depending on the case, it can just be a case where you think that's going to settle, and that it's going to take a little bit longer because they have that opportunity there, and you want to make sure you don't run out of time, because that can be something that can be a problem to get to an agreement if you've ran out of time. Sometimes people need the time to go home and sleep on it. So all these different things, I think hopefully you're hearing that it's different in every case. What works in one may not work in another's. I've had people mediate for 10 hours and just be done, and something happens, something comes up, somebody rolls their eyes at the other person, it's over. So, or there can be a last minute late ad issue that comes up, 11 hours in, and that can tank a mediation. So you have to be always ready and willing to continue to work on it, aggressively work towards your client's goals of compromise, negotiation, and settlement. But sometimes if it doesn't work, you just want to at least try to see what you can salvage out of it. A lot of times just knowing where you're at, knowing where, these points that maybe you can come to an agreement, even if you can't come to it at that point, at that time during mediation, then maybe later on you can get there. So there's no one size fits all for the length of a mediation. It truly is going to be based upon the parties, how long they take. While they're looking at the different issues, they may spend, 4 hours on one issue, and then, maybe hit all the other issues really quickly. Or it just may take multiple days of mediation, broken up to deal with the different issues. So it's good to talk to your attorney about it, for what they feel will work for your case, because every case is a little bit different. So remembering that, and remembering that if it does go on longer, if you're still, everybody's on board, nobody's like checked out, like not with it, not able to make a decision. If everybody's still on board, sometimes it is good to continue trying to see what you can do. If you're making progress, if you're seeing it, and if you're seeing kind of the finish line down the road, because that can be sometimes the best possible solution rather than going to trial. I love going to trial. I have no problem with it. I've done lots of trials, but that's not always the best solution for people, because you're taking it out of the hands of somebody and then giving it to a judge who is a stranger, and they're going to do their job and make the decision. But rather than you making that decision for yourself, and then when you have some skin in the game because you've made that decision, you and your spouse have now agreed to this agreement, and you have now put your signature on there, you're more likely to deal with it, and you're more likely to live by it, and you're less likely to modify it later if it's based upon your agreement rather than somebody telling you what to do. So mediations can take, an hour, can take 15 hours. It's whatever works good for your case.